Hey everyone, this is PM Sport Talk, the father and son duo podcast. I'm your host Preston, alongside my father Mike. Dad, how are we doing today?
I am doing great. We finally got something really exciting to talk about. The NFL season has begun.
It has on Thursday, so let's get into that. Let's start off with the NFL. How about that Chiefs-Lions game? The Lions storming into Arrowhead and taking down the reigning Super Bowl champs.
Absolutely. That was a great game. Well, it wasn't a great game. I shouldn't say great game, but it was a close game.
Mm-hmm. That's what you like.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of these first games, the Super Bowl champ quite often blows out the team they're playing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like last year. Last year was at the opposite. The Bills blew out the Rams. But, yeah. So we had a close game. It's great to see. That's what everybody wants to see. And I think it's really good for the NFL that the Lions won this game, because I think some people, myself included, getting a little tired of the Kansas City Chiefs. It was nice to see somebody new, up-and-coming team Detroit, take them out in that first game.
Well, there's a lot to break down from this game, so I'm going to give you some stats for one of the Kansas City receivers. How about Kadarius Toney? He had 5 targets, 1 reception, and listen to this, 3 of those targets he dropped, and one of them was huge. Last drive for the Chiefs, their last breath, and they had Kadarius Toney wide open. I mean, he was in field goal range too, and he dropped the ball again.
Yeah, he was horrible. You're starting to see why maybe the Giants let him go. He was the best defensive player for Detroit in that game. How many drops? Oh, my God. He led that interception that Detroit got.
Brian Branch, pick 6.
I mean, he was brutal. I mean, he wasn't the only one that was brutal, but he was by far the worst one. They have nobody at receiver. At least that maybe you're starting to see how Travis Kelce, how important he is. We knew he was important, but I think we knew he was good, and he catches everything that's thrown to him, and he's the big guy on third down and all that. But the other thing that he does is he gets double teams, and that frees up those other receivers. And so without that, those guys, there's no double. Yeah, you see how important Kelce is. Those guys get single. They get single coverage now. Some of the receivers can get double covered. Instead of having an open receiver with Kelce being doubled, now there is no open receivers. And you can see that the talent there, when they are open, like with Toney, they don't catch it. So, I mean, I don't want to say the Chiefs are in trouble, because I'm sure Kelce will be back.
Yeah, he will.
But maybe they're not going to be as good as everybody thought they were. Maybe they're not going to be that 1 seed. Maybe they're just going to be like, a wild card team, or, maybe they win 11 games instead of 13 or 14, Maybe they're just a step below where they were last year, which Definitely. I think is great for the NFL, because I don't think anybody wants, other than Chiefs fans, want to see the Chiefs just run roughshod over everybody again. So to me, that was really exciting to see somebody else, get in there and get the win.
Yeah, Detroit, absolutely. Storming into Arrowhead is one of the hardest things to do, especially on kickoff after they won the Super Bowl, because, Arrowhead is one of the best atmospheres in the NFL, if not the best.
Yeah.
I'd say, I'd give you my top 3 right now.
I think it's probably the best.
You got the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Seahawks. Those are the 3 best atmospheres in the NFL.
Yeah, the Seahawks, when they're good, that's a really great place. That place rocks. It's so loud there. They're pretty close to Kansas City. Yeah, they're probably 1 and 2. I agree with that one.
Yeah. Another thing to mention from the Chiefs and Lions game, the officiating. Where was the false start calls on Jawaan Taylor? I mean, he was pulling a Michael Jackson moonwalk every time before the ball was snapped.
Oh, it was ridiculous. I'm watching that game, and I'm like, what's going on here? Why aren't they calling penalties on this guy? And then the commentators they were like the same thing. They're like, Chris Collins was like, he's getting a head start every play.
Yeah.
And he was kind of blaming that on I don't know if it was him, but I think it was him that was saying, why isn't Dan Campbell, complaining to the refs? I'm sure he was. I mean, if we saw it, they saw it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that was about, but yeah, that was crazy. I keep watching it. I'm like, man, are they going to call a penalty on him? Finally, they did, but they could have called a penalty on him every other play. And not only was he false starting, he was lined up in the backfield.
Yeah.
I mean, when the outside tackle, I think his head has to be like with the waist of the center. That's as far back as he can go. And he was like a foot behind the center. It's like crazy. I was like, that's real simple for a ref to get right. And I don't know what they were doing.
Oh my goodness, it was brutal. And I want to talk about he did finally get caught on the final drive, and they gave him a penalty for it. I mean, if he went that whole game without getting a penalty for it, then there's some questions. Because what? Why?
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. I mean, couldn't be more obvious. I mean, there were a lot of plays where he was pretty good at timing it, so it looked like he was false starting, but he really wasn't. But then there was a whole bunch where he was.
Yeah,
he was pushing the envelope there the whole time. he knew he needed a head start because Hutchinson played great for Detroit, and he couldn't block him.
Oh yeah.
If he didn't get that false start, and if he didn't line up in the backfield like he wasn't blocking him. That guy was all over the field, and so he was cheating, kind of. You could say he was cheating a little bit to try to block him, and they let him get away with it for most of the game.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it's just brutal how he was not flagged for it at all. We're gonna switch to some college football real quick, and then we'll get back to the NFL. And Dad, I hate to tell you, but I told you so. Duke beat Clemson.
Yeah, you hit as well. That was our prediction last week. Your prediction. You said Duke would beat Clemson, and I was like, no way.
I was saying it all week, too. You remember, even when we were at the hotel.
Yeah, you were saying it all week, and I kept saying, oh, what are you, crazy? Clemson's going to roll them by like 30. And it was just the opposite. They beat them by like 20-some points. Didn't see it coming. But after watching, a lot of that game, I can tell you what, the Clemson Tigers are no longer a top like 10 program in the college football like they've been for the last 10 years.
No.
They've definitely taken a step back. They might still be a top 25 team, barely. That's about it. They're not going to be, unless that was just a fluke and they come out like gangbusters. They have to play Florida State in a couple weeks. I think they've really taken a step back. I don't think Dabo Swinney there is keeping up with the new way college football is going. No.
If Dabo doesn't have a top quarterback, he's going to be awful.
They just don't seem like they have the talent there. Their defense, they usually have talent all over the field.
Their running back, Will Shipley, that's like their whole offense.
He's their whole team, yeah.
I mean, Cade Klubnik sucks. I mean, let's be honest. He's not good.
I know. I keep hearing these college guys saying how good he is, and I'm like, all right, this is his second year. I haven't seen him play a good game yet.
I mean,
I guess he played pretty good in the bowl game last year, but I really didn't watch it. But
the bowl game, I mean, Joe Milton still torched them.
That's true, yeah. But I mean, I guess he played halfway decent, Klubnik. But the games that I've watched him play, he's been brutal, and I just don't see him as a top-notch college quarterback.
I think they'll get the win today because they're playing Charleston Southern, but they're not going to win a lot this year.
They're going to be like an 8-win team. They're going to like 8-4 or something like that. They'll go to a bowl game, but they're not. They're not going to the college football playoff.
Oh no way.
That's Florida State's conference now.
Yes. Another thing to point out right here, I got the Colorado-Nebraska game. We'll give you some updates as we're doing this. Colorado and Nebraska are scoreless, and we got 12 minutes in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think you're finding out that that was a great win for Colorado last week. I think we're going to find out that maybe TCU's not that good.
Yeah, we'll either find out both. Colorado's good, TCU's falling off, and we got a big run here, first down. But yeah, I think Colorado is still a very good team. with how much Coach Prime has done with the program, but I mean, at the same time, I think TCU's taken a big step back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Colorado's a good team, but I don't think they're a great team. Defense today, Nebraska's a very good defense.
Yes,
They're not an offensive team.
We saw that. We saw that last week.
But they have a good defense. And, I think that this time last week, Colorado already had like 14, 20 points, something like that against TCU.
Oh, yeah.
So
that was a good game, though.
This is a step up for them as far as playing against a good defense. I still expect them to win this game. That is Colorado. But I think it might be, a low-scoring game. And the Dion bandwagon, it's going to continue. But I think things are going to get harder for them.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Colorado, it's just they play USC soon, don't they?
They do. I don't know when that game is, but they have USC. They have Oregon. Those are tough games. Washington. I mean, those might be higher scoring games because those teams play high scoring games. So that might, Colorado might win one of those games.
Oh my goodness. But, yeah, sorry to interrupt, but, Sims made a good throw there for the first down. And Nebraska's driving now. Is Colorado in trouble?
They could be. I mean, Nebraska's been hearing all week how great Colorado is, and Dion and his son and all that is. They've got pride there too. So they're probably like, hey, we can play. We're going to go in there and show them what we got. So yeah, this game will probably go down to the wire.
Speaking of that catch, Dad, I'm being completely honest with you. If this is ruled a catch, we may have a play of the week candidate in this game. But yeah, let's go back to the NFL and preview some week 1 games. First off, I want to start with our Pittsburgh Steelers against the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, I was feeling really confident about this game. I still am, but as we know, if you've been following sports the last couple of days, Nick Bosa finally signed his contract with San Francisco, so he is going to play. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to be, the Nick Bosa from last year. It might take him a couple of weeks to get going. But I'm going to assume he's still in pretty good shape. But he was playing, he's not like he's coming in there out of shape or anything. So
oh, no.
He might not be in football shape, quote unquote. But, yeah. So I think it's going to be a close game. I think we might pull it out because I think our defense is going to be good, and I like Kenny Pickett. But I think this is a pick-em game. This game can go either way. Steelers are at home, so I give them that. I'm not super confident, but yeah, I think it's just because I'm a fan. I'm not super confident. I think it's a close game. Goes right down to the wire. One of the better games of the weekend, and let's go Steelers.
Let's go Steelers. Here we go. Yes, I think I'm gonna take the Steelers, and I made my predictions, and the Steelers are on their winning.
I think the Niners are favored by 2, or they were. So
yeah, I mean, I've seen people dropping $40 on the Steelers winning. I'm like, is that payout even gonna be good if they're only 2-point underdogs?
Yeah, really, right? Yeah, I don't know. The only thing that worries me about Pittsburgh, they were under the radar. But all of a sudden, in the last week or so, all these, a lot of NFL experts are saying how good Pittsburgh's going to be.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen that too.
And that's kind of scaring me a little bit.
It is. I saw this one on Get Up with Mike Greeny. I'm not sure who said it, but an analyst on there, said, if Kenny Pickett plays how he did in the preseason, a lot of teams are in trouble.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus. Everybody's going off of how good they played against that game. That game against Buffalo, they played both teams starters, and the Steelers blew them out. But that's still preseason, and it's in the middle of summer. It's hot. I mean, it's in Pittsburgh. Who knows how really motivated the Bills were in that game? It's not like so I don't know how much we can take out of that. That's the only thing that scares me.
We can take out of Kenny Pickett having a good performance, but are we really going to brag about that win?
No, I'm not bragging about that win.
No, I know you're not. I'm saying people bragging about the win.
Oh,
but like I think Kenny Pickett's preseason stats still stand. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he looked awesome. And like you say, if he does play that way in the regular season, they are going to be good. Defense, a lot of these teams, they don't show you everything. than preseason. They're not showing you all that they do on defense and stuff. So, I mean, I can't expect him to be as good as he was in preseason. But if he's somewhat close to that, they should still be pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to the next game here. I pick Steelers, you pick Steelers. We got that out of the way. Fox's America's Game of the Week, for some reason, Bears and Packers.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why that is, but I guess it's because it's the Bears and Packers. It's not so much who's on the team right now.
Yeah.
Plus, everybody's really interested to see how Jordan Love's going to do instead of Aaron Rodgers being there. And you got Fields on the other side for the Bears. It's a very interesting game because I'm really curious to see which quarterback is actually going to look good, or if either one of them does.
Well, before you get to your point here, something to have in mind is Christian Watson has been ruled out for this game.
Yes, I did see that this morning. I was watching, checking things out, and I saw that he was out. That's huge. He was really good last year when he came back. He was injured last year too. I hope that's not going to be an issue for him going forward because he's got all the talent in the world.
He does.
And he's a game breaker.
He's a speedster. He can make contested catches. He's really got everything you need.
Yeah, and without him, yeah, that might hinder Jordan Love quite a bit. I mean, they're going to probably try to run the ball. They got two great backs there, and they need that deep threat because if they don't have that deep threat, then the Bears can load up on the box and stuff that run. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that affects Jordan Love. We'll see. And then on the other side, Fields. I haven't really been paying that much close attention to the Bears. I mean, maybe you can show some insight on that. Who's he got to throw to over there?
DJ Moore.
Yes, that's right. They got DJ Moore, but, I'm not as big.
Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool.
I'm not as big on those guys as you seem to be. You seem to be pretty high on DJ Moore.
I'm not. All right, I didn't say that. But
okay.
I think DJ Moore could be solid. He's definitely an upgrade from Darnell Mooney. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, he is. But he's probably like a number 2 receiver. They don't have a number 1 receiver over there. I mean, Clayball has the potential, but he just hasn't shown it. And
he's just so caught up in the media.
I mean, if he could get back to the way he was his rookie season with Pittsburgh, he's a number 1 guy. But I don't know if he's ever going to get back to that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they made that trade, because they thought maybe he could.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't see it. I mean, maybe we'll be surprised, but I just don't see it with him.
All right. So what is your pick for this game, Dad?
I think I'm going Packers. Who's favored? Do you know? Probably
I'd say the Bears.
Is it in Chicago?
If I'm gonna take a guess,
I think it's
in Chicago. Yes.
So they probably are favored.
I can take a look for you, but
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean,
I think it's still going to be Packers. The odds definitely aren't like a full blown 5 points. It's definitely going to be close.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going with the Packers no matter who's favored. But I was just curious. Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I'd be shocked if either team blows the other one out. It should be a real close game. One thing without Aaron Rodgers being there, that whole division, the game should be better because Rodgers would, I mean, not last year, but all the other years, he'd go in there and the games were blowouts because he just beat everybody up in that division.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so. We're going to have some good games there now, which I think is going to be nice.
NFC North has potential to be one of the best divisions in the NFL.
As far as competitiveness.
Yes.
They don't have the best teams, but I mean, Detroit's decent, but other than that.
Vikings are good.
I think they're taking a step back. They won a lot of close games last year. Usually, they won 11 games. They won by like 3 points or fewer, something like that. Usually, when that happens, the next season things balance out. You don't win all those close games.
Yeah, I think the difference maker is going to be as Nebraska just missed a field goal attempt, so it stays at 0-0. But I think the difference maker is going to be: are we going to see we are going to see Justin Jefferson get a lot more doubles this year.
I would think so, right? Thielen's not there anymore.
No, he went to Carolina. So we got Justin Jefferson, the rookie out of USC, Jordan Addison.
And he hasn't shown much. And he's been...
And who their wide receivers 3, KJ Osborne.
He's okay.
Yeah.
But they have Hawkinson now too, right?
Hawkinson is good, yes.
So they have the tight end. So it's going to be him and Jefferson carrying the load.
And then Dalvin Cook left, so their RB1's Alexander Matterson.
Yeah, that's why I see them taking a step back. And their defensive guys. They lost
Zadarius Smith, right? They lost him.
Kendricks is gone too.
Oh, yes, Eric Kendricks. Where'd he go? San Francisco?
No, I forget where he went, but even though he's getting older, he still was like their heart and soul.
Oh, yeah. He was there for a while, too.
He was like, like Bobby Wagner was for the Seahawks. That's how he was for them.
Yeah, and now he's back there.
Yeah, no, he went back, yeah. So, yeah, I think that's going to hurt them a little bit. I see the Viking, they won like 13 games last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
12, 13?
Yeah, I think they won 13. And then they lost in the first round of the New York Giants.
Yeah, so I see them more as an 8 or 9 win team this year. I think Detroit's probably going to be a 10 or 11.
I think Detroit's winning that division.
I see Detroit winning 10 or 11. And I think the other 3 teams in that division are kind of going to be around the same. 8 wins, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
All right. Well, I also got Packers for the game we're talking about, Packers-Bears. So, the most exciting game of the evening slot, in my opinion, our last game we're going to talk about, Chargers and Dolphins.
Oh, really?
They play each other.
I didn't know you were going there. That's a tough one to call, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't. I think those are 2 division competitors.
What do you mean by that?
Like for first place.
Oh, you think they're going to compete in their divisions for first? They are, but I don't trust either team. Like I was saying about Detroit last week when I was saying I got to see it to believe it. That's how I am with these 2 teams. I got to see it to believe it. I got to see Tua for the Dolphins stay healthy for one.
Oh, yeah.
Because if he's not healthy, I just don't think. I mean, Mike White is a good backup they got there now. But
if Tua stays healthy, then they're
contending.
Yep.
They are. And the other side, you got Herbert. I'm not worried about him. I think he's going to play phenomenal. Cause
their receivers can't stay healthy.
they can't stay healthy, and they're old.
That's probably why they drafted Quentin Johnston. Because if you look at Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, by week 4, they're going to be out with a hamstring injury.
Oh, yeah. Williams never plays. Well, I shouldn't say that.
Williams plays the first 3 weeks. He gets injured, is out for a couple. Then he comes back, then he gets injured again. It's like a cycle.
Same thing with, what's his name?
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. Last year, he was hurt a lot.
Yeah.
I guess years previous, he's been fairly decent. I think last year was the first one he was hurt a lot, right?
Yeah. He was injured a lot last year.
They're both older.
Oh, yeah. Well, Mike Williams, was he pushing 30?
It's got to be. And
then Keenan Allen's got to be I think he's over 30. He's 32, 33.
That's what I mean with those guys. They're still talented, but older guys like that, they're going to be more injury prone.
Yeah.
And like I said, they got drafted Johnson there, who was awesome at TCU last year, but he's a rookie, so we'll see where that goes. Tight end, they still have Hunter Henry. No, he went to Patriots.
I think so. No. Yeah, he went to Patriots a while ago.
I don't even know who they have at tight end this year.
Wait, is it Gerald Everett?
Yeah, that's right. He got him from the Rams. He's decent, but he's older too, right?
Yeah.
He's got to be. He played in the Rams forever. Those 2 teams they're real interesting. I don't know how good the Chargers defense is, but if Mahomes and Kansas City are taking a step back like I think they are, then that gives them a shot at that division.
Yeah. The big teams from that division that I'm going to have to see it to believe it, that's the Broncos and Raiders. I don't know. I still don't trust the Broncos, even though they got Sean Payton. Not saying they can't win games, but I got to see it,
I'm not sure how good their record would be. I don't know if they're going to be, a 10-win team. They might only be like an 8-win team. But I think
they're taking a step forward, in my opinion.
The games will be competitive. They'll have a chance to win some games. They'll have a chance to win 10 games. Whether they actually do or not is another thing. Whereas last year, they had no chance to win anything.
No.
And then the Raiders, I think the Raiders are going to be bad. That's just me.
Raiders, yeah. I'm not trusting Jimmy G without that Kyle Shanahan offense.
I could see them winning 7 games.
Maximum?
Around there, 7 games. I don't see any more than that. The other teams in the division are just better, I think.
That's fair, yeah. I don't think that the Raiders are going to be good. Broncos have a chance, like you said. But, yeah, Raiders are going to be bad in that. And they already have some drama with Chandler Jones.
That was crazy this week.
You saw that?
Him tweeting, them tweeting all this stuff, and then they're sending people there for a welfare check to see how he's doing. Sounds like there's some mental issues there. Hopefully hopefully he gets the help he needs. If that is the case, I don't, with these reports, you don't know what's true and what's not.
Yeah.
So hopefully if he needs help, he gets the help. But as far as playing football, I don't know if he's going to be playing football
This year?
He's not playing this weekend, obviously, but
Well,
at least he
there was
wasn't.
a chance he wouldn't play at all, even if this wasn't going on. They got Max Crosby and Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech.
Yeah.
So I think it might be time for Chandler Jones to go to a new team anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like he needs to worry about other things than football anyway. But
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, there's drama there, so that's why seems like there's always drama with the Raiders.
Oh, no.
It doesn't matter who's the coach, who the players are. There's drama there. It just seems to follow that franchise.
Yeah, Gruden and AB.
That franchise just attracts drama. It's just crazy how that team, when I was growing up, was always the top team.
Yeah.
They were right up there with Pittsburgh and all the great teams. And in the last 20 years, they've been nothing. And it's just sad that went that way, but it's just the way it is right now. I don't know.
Yeah. For sure. The Raiders are not going to be good. And especially with that drama, could possibly make it worse. Let's go back to the Chiefs-Lions game for a second. I want to just point out one thing. What on earth was Mike Tirico talking about? There's an asterisk next to this win for the Lions because Chris Jones wasn't there. Travis Kelce wasn't there. The Lions have earned this, man, and I don't even care. He can't say that on
Mike
live
Tirico.
TV. He can't say that on live TV if you're a commentator.
I don't know what he's doing there. His job is to commentate the game, not he's the play-by-play guy, not the commentator. If Chris Collinsworth said something like that, you kind of expect that from him because it's kind of his job to throw out things like that, kind of in a way. And he's the football guy. He played football, but Mike Tirico's just the play-by-play guy.
Yeah.
Why is he saying that?
And I don't know if you remember this, but I remember this from a couple of years ago. It's surprising that it's this long ago, but Chargers played the Ravens. I think it was Lamar's rookie year. The Chargers played the Ravens, and there was like a clear as day fumble or something like that. And Mike Tirico's in there trying to question things, jump on in. Like, dude, you're the play-by-play guy, you're not the commentator.
Yeah, I know. He likes to. I used to like him a lot because he didn't do that. And now since he's like the main guy at NBC now and all that, I don't know if he feels like he has to interject things like that. But what I liked about Mike Tirico is he was a great play-by-play guy.
He is.
He still is.
Still is. But the things he does,
he's putting his opinion in there now.
That's what I don't like about him. I love Mike Tirico. I love him. He's a great commentator, but he needs to sometimes keep some things to himself.
Yeah, that was a stupid comment. And all the sports talk shows yesterday, all the guys were talking about it, saying, "What is he doing? What's he saying that for?" Chris Jones held out. That's his deal. That's not Detroit's problem. Not their fault.
It's not their fault that Kelce got hurt either.
Kelce got hurt. And I tell you what, the Lions only scored 14 points on offense. So Chris Jones not being there didn't make a difference. Their offense didn't do that much.
Yeah.
Their defense is what won that game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And yes, Kelce would have helped, obviously. So when Detroit goes out and beats somebody this year and some of their guys are hurt, is there an asterisk there? I mean, being hurt is part of the game. There's always guys hurt. There's always good players hurt.
Exactly. That's the big thing that people don't understand.
If Mahomes wasn't playing and Detroit won, then you can put an asterisk next to it. That's different when the star quarterback isn't playing. But it's just a positional player that's not playing. That's part of the game. And it happens to every team. And what makes good teams is they overcome that.
Yeah. I mean,
and Kansas City did not overcome it.
Yeah. Just look at the Eagles a couple of years ago with Nick Foles. They still won the dang Super Bowl.
Yeah, without their Wentz would have been the MVP that year, and he got hurt. And they still won the Super Bowl. I mean, so Yeah, that's just crazy. I don't know why he said that. He's getting a lot of flack for that. I mean, everybody's commenting on that. So I don't know. We'll see how going forward if he says things like that again. But I would hope he wouldn't, because he is a great play-by-play guy, and that kind of like hurts his rep a little bit when he says things like that.
Oh yeah.
Then it's not as a just a person watching football, you can't take him as serious when he says things like that.
Yeah,
it hurts him. It hurts his brand, and it hurts. I mean, he's going to be the play-by guy for NBC. You know, it's not going to change any of that or anything. It's not, but it's just weird that he said that.
It just made no sense. But we are running out of time here, Dad. So it is time to get into our plays of the week. You can go first here with our play from Lions KC.
All right, let's get into plays of the week. Kansas City against Detroit, opening night for the NFL. Mahomes is back to throw it. It's tipped by guess who? Tony. The rookie Brian Branch picks it off, and he's off to the end zone. Pick 6 off of Mahomes. Probably the biggest play of this game. Ties it up when Kansas City was looking to maybe go ahead by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and look at this right here. It's right in Tony's hands. How do you drop that? And right when Brian Branch was right in perfect position, he was off. He's gone.
Like I said, Tony was the best defensive player on the field.
Yep. Well, Dad, our next play is from the Clemson-Duke game. Clemson's marching on the doorstep. Handoff here, but he loses the ball, and it's picked up by Duke. And this is where the turning point really was. Duke returns it all the way near the 30.
Clemson was going in for the lead.
And Duke ended up winning this game 28-7.
What a shocker. That turned the whole game.
Sure did. I mean, a mistake by right there, Dabo Swinney's guys.
Unbelievable. What an awesome play by Duke. You just didn't expect I didn't think they had it in them.
Yeah.
That was kind of a fluky fumble too, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was kind of looked like it was mishandled on the snap. Klubnik tracks him down, but it didn't really mean anything because they scored.
Yep, that was the game right there. All right, back to the Chiefs-Lions game. 4th and 2 for Detroit. Punting formation. Up the middle they go. It's a fake punt. They did a fake punt from their own 20-yard line.
Oh my goodness. That's Dan Campbell for you, Dad. That is Dan Campbell. He does not care where he is on the field. He is willing to take risks, and there it is.
My God.
You see Andy Reid's face right there?
He couldn't believe it.
That's the face of, I was not ready for that.
I couldn't believe it either. I didn't see this because I was in the car, but I had it on the radio, and I was like, what are this Detroit doing? They're doing that from their own 17-yard line or whatever it was. That's crazy. If they don't get that, Mahomes is going to score a touchdown.
And then on the very next play, Dad, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown scoring the first touchdown of the NFL season. So that set up a touchdown.
Unbelievable.
Well, Dad, staying in the Lions-Chiefs game, later on in the drive, Jared Goff finds Amon-Ra St. Brown on a drag route right in the slot position
3rd and 6
for the first touchdown of the season, and he's going to get a fine for that celebration.
Oh, definitely. Oh, what a way to capitalize that fake punt. They made that fake punt count. Went right down the field, scored a touchdown. Awesome.
Yeah, right here you see David Montgomery running a little bit outside, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown comes right across the screen in that slot position right behind Marvin Jones Jr., and that left.
That was kind of a pick play there.
Yeah, it was a pick play.
They didn't call that. That was close. What a play.
Well, Dad, unfortunately, that is our time. But before we go, we cannot leave without a prediction. So this week's prediction, Texas, Alabama, who do you got?
Well, I want to go with Texas because I can't stand Alabama, but I just can't. It's in Bryant-Denny Stadium down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. 7 o'clock. That place is going to be wild. I got to go with Alabama.
Listen, I'm not confident in Jalen Milroe. I'm not. I like him. I liked him last year for the games he filled in with Bryce Young, but I don't know if he's ready to take over for that great program. So you know what? Quinn Ewers is going to go in there and take out Alabama.
I hope you're right, but I think I'm going to be.
You weren't right with Clemson Duke, though.
True. Got to give you credit on that one.
So we'll see. I'm not trying to say anything, but thank you all for watching this podcast, this episode of PM Sport Talk. If you want to watch us, you can find us on Spotify and YouTube. And that will do it. That is our time. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good weekend and week.
Hey, if you like what you see, you can subscribe down below, and you can listen to our podcast at any time And also, if you want to reach out to us, you can reach us at pmsporttalk@gmail.com. Also coming soon is a website. Thank you all for listening. Have a good one.